In 2018, a shy teenage girl from Wigan, England, stepped onto the stage of The Voice Kids UK and unknowingly changed her life forever. Lucy Thomas was only 13 years old, dressed simply, speaking softly, and carrying herself with the nervousness of an ordinary schoolgirl. Nothing about her appearance suggested that she was about to deliver one of the most unforgettable performances in the show's history. But the moment she began singing Moon River, the atmosphere inside the studio transformed completely. Her voice was delicate, yet emotionally overwhelming, filled with maturity far beyond her years. Within seconds, judges turned their chairs in astonishment, visibly moved by the purity of her tone. Audience members sat frozen in silence, captivated by every note. It was not just technical skill that made Lucy extraordinary. It was the emotion she carried in every lyric. She sang with honesty instead of performance, making listeners feel every word deeply. Overnight, clips of her audition spread across social media platforms, attracting millions of viewers worldwide. People described crying while listening to her sing, while others called her a once-in-a-generation talent. For Lucy, however, the experience felt surreal. She had walked onto the stage as an unknown teenager and left it as one of Britain's most talked-about young singers. Yet behind the applause and admiration, her journey into fame had only just begun, bringing pressures she could never have imagined at such a young age. Life after the spotlight became overwhelming. After her appearance on national television, Lucy Thomas returned home to Wigan expecting life to feel normal again. Instead, everything had changed. Friends, teachers, neighbors, and strangers suddenly recognized her everywhere she went. Social media exploded with praise, fan pages, and endless messages from viewers who had been touched by her performances. Many compared her to legendary classical crossover singers and predicted she would become one of Britain's biggest stars. While the attention appeared glamorous from the outside, the reality was much more difficult for a young teenager still trying to understand herself. Lucy later admitted that the hardest part was not singing on television, but carrying the expectations that followed afterward. Every photo, every performance, and every public appearance felt heavily scrutinized. She became afraid of disappointing people who saw her as perfect. Her mother worked tirelessly to protect her from the pressures of sudden fame, carefully limiting interviews and shielding her from harsh online criticism. Yet even with family support, the emotional weight of public attention began affecting her confidence. Lucy started withdrawing from social media and avoided posting regularly because she worried about being judged. Fans questioned why she was not constantly appearing on television or chasing celebrity opportunities. What many people misunderstood was that Lucy was not running away from music. She was trying to preserve her mental peace while still discovering who she truly was, beyond the image created by television audiences and online admiration. The quiet search for identity and balance. During the months following her television success, Lucy Thomas intentionally stepped away from the spotlight. To outsiders, it looked as though she had disappeared, but privately, she was rebuilding herself emotionally and artistically. Instead of attending endless events or signing major commercial contracts, she focused on personal growth. She continued attending school, spending time with family, and practicing music quietly at home. Lucy devoted herself to studying vocal technique, breath control, and music theory, determined to strengthen her abilities instead of relying only on natural talent. The pressure of public expectations had shaken her confidence, but music itself remained her safe place. In her private journal, she began writing lyrics about fear, identity, loneliness, and resilience. Those writings were never intended for fame or applause. They became a way for her to process emotions she struggled to express publicly. Her younger sister Martha played a particularly important role during this period. The sisters often spent evenings singing together in their family living room, harmonizing softly and rediscovering the joy of music away from cameras and judgment. Lucy later described those moments as healing, because they reminded her why she loved singing in the first place. Fame had temporarily transformed music into pressure, but her family helped return it to something personal and comforting. In silence, Lucy was slowly becoming stronger, more disciplined, and more self-aware, preparing herself for a future she would eventually approach on her own terms, rather than the entertainment industry's expectations. Building a career without chasing celebrity. By 2019, Lucy Thomas made a quiet, but important decision. She would continue singing, but she would do it differently. Rather than pursuing reality television fame or aggressive publicity campaigns, she chose a slower and more personal path into music. Her family connected with an independent record label that appreciated artistic sincerity instead of commercial trends. The label immediately recognized something unique in Lucy's voice and offered her the freedom to develop naturally as an artist. This partnership became the foundation of a career built on authenticity rather than spectacle. Her debut album, Premiere, introduced listeners to a collection of emotional ballads and classical crossover songs, performed with remarkable restraint and honesty. Lucy never attempted to imitate older singers or force dramatic vocal tricks. Instead, she focused on emotional clarity, allowing simplicity to become her greatest strength. Critics praised the maturity in her interpretations, especially considering her young age. Without major promotion or celebrity marketing, the album quietly entered the UK classical charts and surprised many within the industry. Yet Lucy remained grounded throughout the process. She treated recording sessions as learning experiences, studying how music production worked and asking endless questions about mixing, arrangements, and microphone techniques, finding strength through music during isolation. When the global pandemic arrived in 2020, the entertainment industry slowed dramatically, leaving countless performers uncertain about their futures. For Lucy Thomas, however, the period of isolation became unexpectedly transformative. Unable to travel or perform publicly, she focused almost entirely on creating music from home with the support of her family. Recording sessions moved into improvised home studios, where she experimented more freely with emotional interpretation and vocal storytelling. During this time, she released her second album, Encore, featuring deeply personal renditions of beloved songs. One performance in particular changed everything for her online presence: Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah. Lucy's version was stripped down and emotionally intimate, relying less on vocal power and more on sincerity. Listeners around the world responded immediately. Millions watched the performance online, many describing it as comforting during a time of fear and uncertainty. Her voice became associated with calmness, healing, and emotional honesty. Yet behind the growing success, Lucy struggled privately with perfectionism. She spent long nights re-recording songs repeatedly, determined to achieve flawless performances. The pressure she placed on herself began affecting her physically. Hours of constant singing caused vocal strain and exhaustion, but she refused to complain or slow down. Lucy feared losing momentum or disappointing the audience that had supported her so faithfully. While fans saw only beautiful performances and growing confidence, Lucy herself was entering a difficult period of emotional and physical fatigue, one that would eventually force her to confront the limits of her own determination and learn healthier ways to protect both her voice and her peace of mind. The hidden battle behind her beautiful voice. As Lucy Thomas continued recording music and building her audience, few people realized how much pressure she carried internally. By the time she began work on her third album, Timeless, her voice had started showing signs of fatigue. Singing had once felt effortless, but now certain notes caused discomfort, and long recording sessions left her exhausted. Nevertheless, Lucy kept pushing herself because she feared disappointing listeners who had come to expect perfection from her. Her perfectionism became both her greatest strength and her greatest burden. Every performance mattered deeply to her, and she constantly questioned whether she was good enough, despite overwhelming praise from fans and critics alike. The emotional maturity heard throughout Timeless reflected not only artistic growth but also the quiet struggles happening behind the scenes. Songs filled with longing, vulnerability, and reflection resonated deeply with audiences because Lucy herself was living through emotional uncertainty She later admitted that there were moments when she questioned whether continuing professionally was worth the stress and anxiety attached to it. Yet, music remained inseparable from her identity. Even when fear and exhaustion became overwhelming, she could not imagine abandoning singing completely. Instead, Lucy slowly learned the importance of balance and self-care, reinventing herself beyond television fame. By 2022 and 2023, Lucy Thomas had evolved into a completely different artist from the nervous teenager audiences first met on television. Her later albums reflected growing emotional confidence and creative independence, showcasing not only vocal development but also deeper artistic understanding. The release of Beyond marked a particularly important moment in her career because it demonstrated that she no longer needed reality television to sustain public interest. Her music stood firmly on its own. Critics praised her maturity, describing her voice as emotionally intelligent and deeply authentic. Around this time, Lucy began collaborating more frequently with her sister Martha, creating duet performances that quickly became beloved online. Their renditions of songs such as The Prayer, You Raise Me Up, and When You Believe attracted millions of viewers worldwide. Audiences were captivated not only by the sisters' vocal harmony, but also by the warmth and genuine affection visible between them. Unlike many performers who carefully craft public images, Lucy and Martha appeared completely natural together, creating an atmosphere of sincerity that resonated strongly with listeners. Lucy's online presence also grew significantly during this period, eventually surpassing millions of subscribers and hundreds of millions of views, using her story to help other young people. As Lucy Thomas matured both personally and professionally, she became increasingly passionate about helping young people facing emotional struggles similar to her own experiences with pressure and anxiety. Rather than using her platform solely for career advancement, she began participating in initiatives focused on mental health awareness, bullying prevention, and emotional resilience. Lucy understood firsthand how overwhelming public expectations could become, especially for teenagers still developing confidence and identity. Through school workshops and charity collaborations, she shared her journey openly, encouraging students to prioritize self-worth over external validation. Her message resonated strongly because it came from genuine experience rather than scripted inspiration. Lucy often emphasized that setbacks and fear do not define a person's future. Instead, resilience grows through difficult moments when individuals continue moving forward, despite uncertainty. Alongside her sister Martha, she participated in musical events designed to create safe emotional spaces for young audiences. Many fans later described her music as comforting during periods of loneliness, grief, or anxiety. Lucy herself considered that emotional connection more meaningful than awards or commercial success. She once explained in an interview that her greatest hope was simply for listeners to feel less alone after hearing one of her songs. The quiet legacy of a truly authentic artist today, Lucy Thomas represents something increasingly rare within modern entertainment. An artist who achieved success without sacrificing sincerity or emotional balance. Her journey from a nervous 13-year-old contestant to an internationally admired performer reflects extraordinary personal growth, shaped not by fame, but by resilience. While many young talents disappear after reality television exposure, Lucy transformed her early recognition into a sustainable and meaningful artistic career. She built her audience gradually through trust, consistency, and emotional honesty rather than publicity stunts or manufactured celebrity drama. Fans across the world continue supporting her, not only because of her remarkable voice, but because of the peace and authenticity she radiates through her music. Online communities dedicated to her work translate lyrics into multiple languages and organize listening events that bring together listeners from different cultures and backgrounds. Yet despite international admiration, Lucy continues living quietly with her family in the same town where her story began. She frequently thanks supporters personally online and remains deeply connected to the ordinary life that fame once threatened to disrupt. Her humility has become one of her most admired qualities, because it proves that success does not require losing oneself completely. Lucy Thomas never truly disappeared after The Voice Kids UK. Instead, she stepped away temporarily to protect her voice, her identity, and her mental well-being. In doing so, she discovered a deeper purpose for her music, and created a legacy built not on celebrity status, but on emotional truth, healing, and quiet human connection.